up, you guys? It's Nasim here. Now, I've been using the Galaxy Z Fold 3 for about 5 months now, and after using it day in and day out for an extended amount of time, there was one statement that I feel wraps up the Z Fold 3 as a whole. And that statement is, the Z Fold 3 is not only the most revolutionary phone that we have ever seen in our time, but it is also one of the best phones that you can get in 2022. And I say that because when you think about it, what other phone is pushing the bar this hard when it comes to revolutionizing the next lineup of phones? The Galaxy Fold 3 is the first phone to ever have a high quality foldable screen. It is the first phone to ever have a high quality camera in a foldable phone. It is the first phone to include an amazing outer display that can be used like current phones of today. And it is one of the first phones to ever make people take foldable phones seriously to make it their daily driver. And even when we look at the advancement of technology, we look at things like the metaverse, the advancement of VR, and also the advancement of electric vehicles. But I think that the biggest thing that we should look forward to in the world of tech is the piece of hardware that we use every day. The piece of hardware that lets us be able to communicate, make money, and surf the internet at any moment of the day. And I think that overall, we should be paying attention to the advancement of foldable smartphones. And again, this is exactly why I enjoy using my Z Fold 3 after a long period of time. Because not only was it a very different phone, but the Z Fold 3 was able to give me a very durable phone, meaning that I had the power to use it on a daily basis. Now, the first thing that I really loved about my Galaxy Z Fold 3 after using it for 5 months was the amazing screen. Now, the Galaxy Z Fold was a truly different phone for me because it basically gave me the best of both worlds. Like right here, when we look at the front screen, you can see that I'm able to do anything on it, like on any other regular phone. I can use it to make calls, send texts, browse through social media, and even check up on emails. And I really like this screen because it basically gave me options. Like if I didn't like unfolding my phone and using the big screen, I had the choice to instead use the smaller screen to get things done. And it also was a very high quality screen. Like right here, you can see me scrolling through Instagram and it looks just as good as any other phone. I will usually use it a lot whenever I was out somewhere and needed to do a task, or whenever I was laying in bed on my side scrolling through emails. The screen was also very durable, it was bright, vibrant, and had a really great resolution despite being pretty thin. And the only problem that I had with it was that it was a pretty skinny screen, so some apps look really weird on it due to them not adjusting them to the software. But after a while you get used to it, so it's not really too much of a huge problem. And when we look at the main screen on the Z Fold 3, we can see that it resembles a mini tablet, which is a pretty great thing, especially when it came to entertainment. My favorite part about the main screen was that it was so focused on creating an immersive experience that it even sacrificed good camera quality by putting the camera under the display, which was really great attention to detail. I also love the fact that Samsung made the screen even more durable than the previous generations. Because back then, with the older Z Folds, you couldn't even press on the screen too hard, you couldn't press any pointy object against it, and you couldn't drop it at all, so it was really refreshing that I could be a little more careless with it. And I love using the main screen for things like playing games, watching movies, watching YouTube, and even reading books. But by far, my favorite thing to do on that bigger screen was watch movies because it really gave me a completely different experience compared to any other phone. I also love the fact that it had an amazing resolution and had a realistic sharpness to it. And to show you guys what I mean, here are some examples of me watching movies and playing video games on both screens.
Malcolm Adekanbi. Did I pronounce it right? Yeah, great. You're Nigerian.
My dad,
Now, the next thing that I loved about my Galaxy Z Fold 3 after using it for 5 months was the pretty surprisingly great cameras. And when I say great cameras, I don't mean that they are the best out of any smartphone in the market, but they definitely aren't trash and can hold their own when given the opportunity. Like right here, when we look at the daytime pictures from our main outer camera, we can see that the photos are very crisp when good lighting presented itself. The colors were also very amazing compared to last year, and they also had a little bit more sharpness than other phones, which was pretty great in certain situations. Now, when we look at the main camera's nighttime photos, we can see that the sharpness was even more apparent, which I really loved in this environment. The colors were very accurate to what I was seeing with my own eyes, and the added lighting was great and very comparable to the iPhone 13, which is a pretty big accomplishment. And now when it came to the selfie mode photos, I would say that the front screen selfie camera is as good as any mid-range phone in 2022. Like right here, you can see that my face tone looks somewhat accurate. I kind of look lighter in these photos than I actually am, and it kind of bugged me. And one thing that I did like was the sharpness and how well the camera played on my eyes. And I feel like the camera gave me more of a baby face, which was pretty nice at times. Also, when we look at the nighttime selfie photos, you can see that there was much more graininess to the photo than usual, but whenever the lighting was good, the quality got much better. And the only camera that I would say was pretty bad was easily the main selfie camera. Like right here, you can see the pictures were blurry, the colors weren't accurate, and it looked like something that came out of a kid's tablet. But I want to give the camera benefit of the doubt because no one really uses the main screen selfie camera, and Samsung had to sacrifice the quality by putting the display under the screen and making the main screen more full. And as far as video quality, I wanted to show you guys different videos that I took in different environments with each of the cameras. Now the next thing that I loved about my Galaxy Z Fold 3 after using it for 5 months was the pretty amazing battery. Now I've been using the Z Fold 3 as my main phone for a while now, and I would get about 4 to 6 hours of on-screen time, which was a lot compared to my usage with other phones. And again, I will be doing things like playing games, checking emails, watching YouTube videos, and even doing many small tasks for work. And even with me doing all that, I would end my days with about 15% battery left, which wasn't too bad because it was able to last me throughout the day without charging it. So if you are someone who plans on using the Z Fold 3 as your main phone, then I would say that you'll be pretty happy with it because not only is it durable, but it is also reliable. Now another thing that I loved about the battery was the fact that it didn't take too long at all to charge. Like there were many times where I forgot to charge it up at night, so I would put it on the charger while I was getting ready, and by the time I was done, it was on 100%, which added to its reliability. Now the final thing that I loved about my Galaxy Z Fold 3 after using it for 5 months was the insanely loud speakers. Now the speakers on the Z Fold 3 were easily the best that I had ever heard when compared to every other smartphone. It made watching movies an even more enjoyable experience for me, and even has some of the best quality at the loudest volume. And to show you guys what I mean, here are some examples of me testing out the speakers.
Better phone, and it's actually priced very well. And I think that the biggest mistake that Samsung did with the S21 FE is not the price, it's not the specs, and it's not the software. I instead think that they released it at the absolute worst time.
And there you have it, you guys, my final review on the Galaxy Z Fold 3 5 months after use. Now let me know down in the comments, do you think that the Galaxy Z Fold 3 is the most revolutionary phone that we have in the year of 2022? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It'll be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.